Hello everyone, welcome back. We are here with chapter number 6 of your English LIT from a Weaver's book. And the name of the chapter is again My Grandchildren. In the previous chapter you studied about granddaughter. Now you are going to study about the grandmother. Now here a grandmother is there, and this chapter will show you that how much a grandmother loves her grandchildren. Clear? What is her feelings? In the previous chapter we studied about the feelings of the granddaughter, the way she plays and all, but here we will study about the feelings of the grandmother, about her grandchildren. Okay, so let's start. The name of the grandmother which you can see out here, her name is, underline, her name is Raihana. Understood? So just go through it. Raihana sat down in the shade of a tree, resting her back against its gnarled trunk. It was very pleasant day. Okay, gnarled means twisted, muda hua. So what she was doing was that, as you can see, Raihana was sitting, she was resting her back and she was sitting on a tree trunk, and then she was like thinking about everything, and she was like enjoying the very pleasant means suhana. Understood? Suhana mausam, suhana din. She was enjoying the day. After her husband died, understood? Raihana's husband had died. Grandmother ka husband jo hai died. Okay. Raihana returned to Imphal and lived a peaceful life in the hills. Her son often asked her to live with his family in Kolkata, but she was not happy to do so. He would tell her that he didn't like the curfew and the presence of the army. Okay, now what happened was that, after her husband died, what happened was that, what she did was that, Raihana ka husband ke marne ke baad, Raihana had come back to her own village. And where is her village? In Imphal. Okay, she has a son also. Understood? Uska ek beta bhi aur bete ke bacche bhi hain. Now what happened was that her son lives in Kolkata, and Raihana's son always asks Raihana to come and live with them in Kolkata. But Raihana does not want to leave her own village. She is very happy to live in her own village. Okay. Now, and why did not her son, उसका बेटा फिर क्यों नहीं आ जाता था विलेज में? Because where Raihana used to live, no, that is a place where always army, क्योंकि north eastern state है, Imphal is in Manipur, Imphal, you know that. Okay, so north eastern में what happens is that always army is there, army लोग बाहर रहता है, always मतलब tight control है, okay, पुलिस का. And what happen is that there is always curfew, लॉकडाउन जैसा हुआ था, like वैसे टाइप का कर्फ्यू हर समय टाइप रहता है. So Raihana's son does not like that, so he does not come from Kolkata to Imphal. Okay, but Imphal is a beautiful place, much more beautiful than Kolkata. Okay, so see, he did not like his curfew and the presence of army. Understood? But that was down in the valley. She liked to live here, caring for her plants and trees and waiting for Holika Dahan holidays when her grandchildren would visit. Now, Raihana grandmother, she has small plants and small trees in her home, and she likes to just look after her plants and trees and pass her all day looking after them. And she waits all through the year, she waits for a festival, and the name of the festival is, underline, Holika Dahan. It is a festival which is celebrated in northeast. So साल भर वो उस फेस्टिवल का वेट करती है जब उसके her grandchildren would come to her in the festival. Okay, next. Raihana could hear the echoes of her grandchildren's voices as they raced up and down the mountainside. They would play hide and seek in the forest, hiding behind bushes and up into the trees. They would not have to make do with hiding under tables or behind curtains, chairs and doors. Now what happened was that she is remembering. बैठ के सोचते हैं ना, आपको याद आता है. So she is remembering about her grandchildren, that when her grandchildren used to come to Imphal, वो कितना खुश होते हैं. Looking at the village, वो दौड़ते हैं, they run in the mountain, in the mountainside, in the valleys, understood, inside the meadows, understood. And what happened? Grandmother Raihana is recalling, वो आवाज उसके कान में गूंज रहा है, understood, कि उसके grandchildren उसके आस पड़ोस में खेल रहे हैं और कितने खुश हैं, ये सब सोच रही है, understood. She is like recalling those things in her mind. Now she is very happy for that. Okay, that and she is happy to remember that her grandchildren plays in the forest, in the mountain side, और वो लोग hide and seek खेलते हैं, और वो लोग कहाँ पे छुपते हैं? ट्रीज के पीछे, माउंटेन साइड में, ठीक है, यहाँ वहाँ छुपते हैं. एंड शी इज वेरी हैप्पी कि वहाँ पे तो उन लोगों को ये नहीं मिलता है, They don't get these things in Kolkata. In Kolkata, where they have to hide when they play hide and seek? Because in cities you don't have beautiful places, no? So in cities what happen, where they have to hide? They have to hide under table, under bed, under curtain, पर्दे के पीछे. But in the village, she has all these beautiful things to hide. So she is, see, like you can have the picture also. See the children, they are hiding themselves, okay? The children couldn't wait to come home to Manipur to feel free and have lots of space. The children also बहुत खुश होते हैं, grandchildren, कि कब होलिका दहन फेस्टिवल आएगा and when I will go back to my grandmother's home in Manipur. Okay, so children also, they are also very much excited for that. Okay, now in Kolkata there were no trees in their neighborhood. In Kolkata there are no much trees because Kolkata is a city, so there is no much trees. Here they would be climbing trees all the time, but when they come to Manipur they see trees all over, so they start climbing the trees, grandchildren. Okay, Rahina smiled at a fond memory. When Manvi was only 4, she has refused to climb down all day. Rahana had even to feed her while she was sat on the lowest branch of the tree. Now Rahana is remembering one thing and she is laughing. Understood? Rahana को कुछ याद आता है और वो हंसती है. क्या याद आता है? She is remembering that when her grandchild Manvi, when Manvi was 4 years old, understood, and when वो मणिपुर में आई थी, so what happened was that वो एक पेड़ के ऊपर चढ़ के बैठ गई थी, उतर ही नहीं रही थी वहां से. Now she was not like coming down from the tree. Now throughout the day she was sitting out there only. Even Raihana had to feed her, understood, on the tree. Raihana उसको पेड़ में खिलाना पड़ा और खाने के टाइम बस नीचे वाले डाल में आ जाती थी खाने और फिर ऊपर चली जाती थी. So this is what she is recalling and she is just laughing. Okay, what a celebration they would have. Rahana would cook up a storm. Cook a storm मतलब बहुत खुशी से खाना बनाती है, खिलाती है बच्चों को. Cook up a storm. Okay, इसका मतलब. Machan loved Manipur cuisine. Okay, cuisine means food. Okay, Manipuri style food. Okay, and he would demand misa machpora and mushroom. Misa machpora is a kind of a dish. Okay, he had only bai in Kolkata and would be bored with it. Bai is also kind of food. So Machan is also another grandchild of Rahana. So Rahana says that her grandchild Machan जब आता है, Machan को खाना बहुत पसंद है. Now whenever Machan comes, he always asks her grandmother to cook what? Misa machpoda, one kind of food, mushroom, because Machan does not like a similar kind of food that is known as bai. Understood? Bai खाते थे कोलकाता में तो वो अच्छा नहीं लगता. So he always wants to eat Manipuri cuisine or Manipuri food. Okay. Manvi would want to inspect the garden closely. She shared her grandmother's love for all growing things. She would check on the health of each plant. Okay, now what did Manvi do? Manvi used to go and look to each and one of the plants that her grandmother had planted in the garden. एक एक plant को देखेगी, उसको test करेगी, healthy है कि नहीं healthy है. फिर if it is not healthy, she used to tell her grandmother, Mom, this plant is not good. Please take care of this plant. ये मरने वाला है, इसका health खराब हो रहा है. So Manvi used to check like a doctor each and every plant. Understood? So Rahana is remembering those also. Okay. She would check on the health of each plant. How long would it take for her to spot that oak tree was not as healthy as it should be? She would also count each fruit in every tree. Rahana was going to have great fun with Manvi, inspecting them and plucking the ripened ones. मैंने बोला था Rahana has a beautiful garden. So what did Manvi do? Manvi used to go on inspecting each plant and she used to like count each fruit. Understood? And Rahana को बहुत अच्छा लगता था. Rahana used to sit with Manvi and keep on counting the fruits. Okay, counting the fruits. और दोनों मिलके what they used to do? They used to count the fruits and they used to pluck the ripened ones. पके हुए फल को तोड़ते भी थे दोनों साथ में मिलके. Okay. Little Zozo. Zozo is another one. You can see Rahana. This is Rahana, mother. Okay. This is Manvi. Okay. This is Machan and this is Zozo. Zozo is very small. Little Zozo would wear the beautiful skirt and blouse. You can see Zozo is wearing a skirt and a blouse. Okay. That Rahana had got for her. Rahana ने उसके लिए skirt and blouse ला दिया था. वही पहनती है Zozo. Manvi would live in her jeans so that she didn't have to worry about getting them dirty. But Zozo would revel in her Manipuri clothes. She would kiss Rahana's wrinkled cheeks to thank her. Even today, Rahana could feel the warmth of her youngest grandchild's lips and the softness of her cheek. Now what happened was that Manvi used to wear jeans and like all those things because कहीं भी बैठ जाती थी और उसको इतना टेंशन नहीं होता था jeans पहनने से, गंदे नहीं होंगे, understood? But what happened was that little Zozo used to wear Manipuri style shirt and a blouse, okay? So she used to wear that, okay, the skirt and the blouse, clear? And then what happened was that this will be skirt out here, okay? So she used to wear the skirt and a blouse, clear? And what happened was that this was a Manipuri dress which little Zozo wore, okay? Now Rehana, now you can see that little Zozo is kissing Rehana, okay? Now Rehana grandmother, she remembers the way she kissed little Zozo ने जहाँ पे उसे kiss किया था, she remembers the way she kissed, the warmth of her lips, उसके lips की गर्माहट को वो आज भी महसूस करती है, she remembers, she recalls those things, okay? And they would ask her to tell them stories which ones she would narrate. A living one for Manvi, a laugh aloud for Machan, and a giggly one for Zozo. And all of the three used to tell Raihana to Raihana grandmother, please tell a story for us. Okay. So Manvi used to like living stories. असली स्टोरीज उसे पसंद है, नकली नहीं, अंडरस्टूड? बनावटी स्टोरीज नहीं, लिविंग स्टोरीज, ओके? लाफ अलाउड स्टोरीज फॉर मचान. मचान यूज्ड टू लाइक कॉमेडी, अंडरस्टूड? लाफ अलाउड, जिसमें वो लाफ अलाउड कर सके, हंस सके. एंड जोजो यूज्ड टू लाइक गिगली स्टोरीज, ओके? शॉर्ट स्टोरीज, ओके? वेरी गिगली स्टोरीज, ओके? Rahana sat in the garden and watched the sun set over the magnificent hills as she planned the stories in her head. And Rahana, she used to sit in the garden and look to the sunset, and then she used to recall the stories which she will say to her grandchildren. So this was a chapter. Now here we are having the question answers also, students. Now we will go with the question answers. So pause your video and you can go and bring your copies. Okay. Now let's start with the question answers. The first one, you have just have MCQ. Rihanna lived in where? Rihanna lived in number B, that is Manipur. The garden had what? Garden में क्या थे? Garden had number C, trees and bushes. Okay, पेड़ और झाड़. Children played what? Children played indoor games in Kolkata. Understood? And Rihanna would cook up a storm. This means she would what? She would cook a lot. बहुत खाना बनाती थी. Next, number B. Okay, you have to write about the characteristics. कौन कैसा था? Rihanna, how was she? Grandmother कैसी थी? Storyteller, affectionate, प्यार करने वाली, and quiet, चुपचाप थी. Manvi कैसी थी? Fun loving, climbed trees. Manvi used to like climbing trees, no? And Machan, he was very physically active. Okay, and he loved food. Zozo, little Zozo, how was she? She used to love clothes, Manipuri clothes, and demonstrative. ये दिखाना है, वो करना है. Understood? Demonstrative मतलब, understood? दिखाना, demonstrate करना, दिखाना. Understood? Next, number C. Write a very short answer for this question. Name 3 food items mentioned in the text. What are the food items? Misa mach poda, mushroom and bai. Okay, ये दो मणिपुर का food है. This is a Kolkata food. Okay. Next. Why would Rahana's son not live in Manipur? Rahana का बेटा मणिपुर में क्यों नहीं रहता था? Why he used to live in Kolkata? Rahana's son didn't like the curfew. वो लॉकडाउन वाला सिचुएशन, कर्फ्यू मणिपुर में रहता है, so he does not like that. And the presence of the army in Manipur. Okay, and he did not like the army presence. Okay. Number 3. Why is the army in Manipur? The army was down in the valley. Army कहाँ पे था? Down in the valley, नीचे पहाड़ के नीचे. Understood? रहना जहाँ पे रहती थी वहाँ पे नहीं, but वहाँ से नीचे valley में. Okay. Number 4. What clothes would Manvi and Zozo wear? Manvi used to wear jeans and Zozo used to wear what? Skirt and blouse. Okay. Next. Discuss the answers to these questions with their partner. Number 1. Difference between Kolkata and Manipur. Students, this answer you will get in the PDF, or if you want you can add this answer by your own also. Okay, this is a very like general question. Kolkata में situations कैसे हैं and Manipur में कैसे हैं? So there is a chart, you can check it out in the link. Number 2, what interest did Manvi share with her grandmother? Manvi shared her grandmother's love for all growing things. Okay, like the way Manvi like used to see that her grandmother used to plant many stories and many trees and bushes in her garden, so she used to love that. Number 3 is done. Number 3, how did Manvi show her love for nature? Manvi loved and cared for nature. She inspected the garden closely. बड़े ध्यान से grandmother का garden को देखती थी. She cared for the plants and understood their health condition by looking at them. She used to also test their health like a doctor of each plant. Okay. So this was very good. Next, number 4. Yes, it was so because she loved her grandchildren and looked forward to spending good time with them. Yes, Rahana is to love her grandchildren very much. Number 43, page number 1. This is cuisine. Okay, that means food style. Echoes, gnarled, that means twisted. This is gnarled. Okay, students, how do you spell it? Gnarled. G is silent. Okay, gnarled means twisted and huge. Magnificent, बहुत सुंदर. Okay, magnificent. Okay, revel, understood, that means she used to love it. Curfew, so you know, lockdown. Laugh, inspect, जांच करना. Narrate, बताना. Wrinkled, झुर्रियां पढ़ना. Understood? So this is all about your chapter. So with this we come to the end of the chapter. Next other questions are being provided in the link. So I hope you enjoy it. Till then, take care.